everyone.
Hello.
Liz here.
And this is Mike Odwalo.
Wow. Welcome to Lapis Lazuli once again, where we get to have this opportunity to be in our home and just share some things that we learn from marriage. Here at Lapis Lazuli, we say that Jesus is our firm foundation. And he's the one that keeps us going on a daily basis. And so today, we want to talk about something that we've been learning, and we are still in the process. Actually, it's amazing how, as you talk about something, you realize that you still have a long way to go. But with God's help, and as we keep sharing and learning, and putting God in the middle of everything as our foundation, we will be able to make it. So welcome. We always say that at Lapis Lazuli, Jesus is our firm foundation. And so we are sharing today about marriage. And I know the topic we want to talk about today is an interesting topic.
Very interesting and challenging at the same time.
I know. So we are going to be sharing about something that many times even us, we don't like going there. You know, when there is a conflict, because that's what we want to talk about. Conflict in marriage. You know, as a person, I don't like conflict, and I don't think anyone likes conflict.
I don't either. But it is inevitable in any healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now, we might never avoid conflict in marriage, but we can be able to know how to manage, how to resolve, so that we can be in harmony. Because the way God designed our marriages, He desires for us to be able to have harmony.
Yeah.
But I know that I've heard, even as you're preaching, maybe in a wedding, saying that when two people get married, they are two sinners.
Yeah.
So meaning when two sinners get into a marriage, then what you see is sin. What you find there, is sin. And so sin causes conflict, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what we want to talk about. So it's important, first of all, for us to realize that conflict is inevitable, but constant conflict and quarreling is what can damage a marriage.
Exactly. As you say, when two get together, we are two different people. And because of our background, because of where we're coming from, because of our values and knowledge in different areas, conflict is inevitable.
Yeah.
And we have healthy conflicts, and we have those that are not healthy. And so today we are going to look at the topic of conflict, and we are going to look at what really are the causes of conflict.
Yeah.
And we are talking about conflict today. We are talking about those conflicts that take us off balance and help make us not to have a healthy marriage. Yeah.
They say that occasional conflict is okay.
Yeah.
But what ruins is that consistent. And so that's not what God wants, a pattern of conflict every single day.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to see, so what causes it? So that when it comes, we can be able to realize it and be able to know that this is actually what is causing a conflict in our marriage. And so we might share some of the things that we've had to learn. Some of them we've had to learn the hard way.
Absolutely.
Some of them we're still in the process of learning them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first cause of conflict.
Yeah. As a Christian, or coming from a Christian background, there is number one cause of conflict, and that is pride.
Yeah.
Pride comes before a fall. And by nature, by default, we are all prideful in one way or the other. Now, when two people get married, that is the time when you are exposed like never before. You have always thought that you are a humble man or a humble woman until you get into that house with that man. Then you actually realize, this man that everybody is praising out there as such a nice guy and such a humble guy, then just seems to be so proud, and that pride gets the better part of us when it comes to marriage.
It's true.
Yeah.
When we are dating, man, I think everyone puts their best foot forward.
Exactly.
I think I remember when we were dating, saying I'm sorry was just
the order
so
of the day.
obvious,
so
easy. It was so easy, I'm late, I've come, I'm like, man, sweet, I'm so sorry, I was late.
Then I say, no problem,
it's okay.
it's okay.
No, But as time goes by, you get into marriage.
Yeah.
I think there is a way we start getting familiar with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start feeling like, man, my way is right.
Yeah.
And your way is not right.
Yeah. And your real character
comes out
really when that is challenged. Yeah.
It's challenged. Exactly. Our character is really challenged.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just thinking about the way the Bible says in Proverbs that pride breeds quarrels.
Yeah.
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 So when there is pride in our lives,
yeah,
it just breeds quarrels, you know, and so it's so easy for us to have the quarreling. Definitely is conflict.
Yeah.
You know, when there is pride, when I feel like my way is better, you know, why didn't you do as I told you?
Yeah.
Then that is what makes us to be able to really have a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how this conflict really manifests itself in a relationship is when we start thinking that we are better than the other person. And I know that many times we, because of our different values and our different backgrounds, it is so easy to actually think that you are the one who knows better.
Yeah.
And so every time your spouse or your partner is talking, you are not keen to exactly listen to what they are saying, but even as you are listening, in your mind you are thinking, I think she's off. And so you don't give room to exactly listen. You've already blocked, and you are thinking you are smarter, you are thinking you are wiser, and you are even thinking you are better. And that already is a prideful attitude.
Yeah. Actually, as you're speaking, I'm thinking that's so true. You know, when pride is there, when someone is talking about something, and we are already prideful, we are already thinking of an answer to put them off, you know, or to bring in, to push our agenda, you know, and this conflict, this pride, it can come in how we are raising our children. You know, one person feels like, man, I think I know how to raise the children better. Or in how we use finances, you know, I think I know better than this one, you know. And so those are the things that really easily bring our conflict. And so what you're saying is that it's important for us to humble ourselves when we are in marriage. We will definitely talk about how to resolve. But the Bible says that we need to clothe ourselves with humility. You know, the way every day, like today we came up, we are actually dressed in the same, you know. You know, so the Bible is saying that as Christians, if we want our marriages to do well, and if we want to be able to overcome a conflict, we have to be able to clothe ourselves with humility. You know, where you keep reminding yourself, wow, you know, every day, the way you don't go out naked, you know, for a Christian, you want to always wake up and remember that, wow, I need to be able to be humble.
There are several reasons why people clothe themselves. One is to keep warm, another one is to look smart, but the other thing is to hide certain things in us that otherwise you would not want to be exposed. And so when the Bible talks about us clothing ourselves with humility, He knows, God knows that when you clothe yourself in humility, that humility is going to cover so much in you certain characters that would otherwise just expose you in a bad way. And so lack of humility makes us naked. And when you are naked in pride, then chaos is going to just be the order of the day in that relationship.
Wow. So that's amazing, you know. So the first point that we're saying is a great cause of conflict is pride. You know, and for us to have harmony in our marriages or in our relationships, if you are in a dating relationship or you're in any relationship, every time you go down, you will realize that the other person goes down.
Exactly. As they always say that, you know what, pride begets pride and humility begets humility.
Exactly. So if we respond with humility, it's easy for the other person to respond with humility.
Exactly.
But when we go high and we think that, man, my thought is right, what's wrong with you, and all that, then the other person just becomes prideful automatically, you know, and so the quarrel begins right there, and so we start having that tension. And as we are saying, tension does not help in a marriage.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's our first point. And the second point that we want to talk about, that we've also realized is a huge destroyer and a cause of conflict in marriage, is
criticalness.
Wow. Criticalness.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, when we first got to be in love, when we were dating, if there was one thing that was outstanding, is the way we appreciated each other.
Wow.
And you literally appreciated everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you even went overboard, where you even appreciate the things that you're not supposed to appreciate. But because of love, and because you are actually just seeing what is good, it got the job done. They say love is blind, and I think there is truth to it. And love actually should be blind to certain things. There are certain things that if you are really in love, then you're not gonna see them. They are not going to be a big deal to you. And that's where we say love covers over a multitude of sin. But when that escapes, especially as we continue to stay longer, we start to get so familiar with each other. We start to get things, start to take things for granted. And before you realize it, you start to criticize each other. You are now not drawn to one another as you used to be before.
That's so true. You know, they say that when you're dating, the things that attract you to each other, after some time, it's so easy for the same things to become what becomes the fight.
Exactly.
We start criticizing it. Because when the whole package is right there, it's definitely not everything is like perfect, isn't it? You know, so when you're dating, you look at this person and you're thinking, wow, look at that calm, you know, person, you know, or look
very
at that gentle spirit. You know, and then now we get married, and you feel like, why can't you talk? And I think for me, that's one of the things I feel like at some point it would be our issue. You know, when I would be talking and you're not saying much, maybe you're quiet, and I'm feeling like, hey, why can't you talk? You know, yet that's what I really appreciated. You know?
Because when you started dating, that quietness, you felt like, man, this person is ready to listen
to me.
He is not in a hurry, you know, he's not talking. But now you are in marriage and the guy keeps quiet and you are feeling like, man, so why are you assuming me? Or why don't you say something? And sometimes somebody really doesn't have much to say. Or you are just discovering that is the nature of that person. And it's something you cannot run away from. But now it starts to irritate you. I think the other thing about you know, being critical is when you start to be entitled. And when you get entitled, it is when now everything is now an expectation. You actually think that you know, you should have done this. So if somebody goes out of their way to do something, you actually think that is not even going out of your way. That is something that you should have done. For example, you know, I know when you are in a marriage, there are roles that some are by default, some are spelt. As in, a couple can sit down and say, you know what, now in our relationship, I'm the one who's gonna be doing A, B, C, D. But there are also certain roles that just comes, especially from our culture. You just know that, man, as a woman, I need to be fixing the kitchen. I need to be doing all these things. As a man, I need to be going out, you know, and doing most of the outdoors activities and all that. But there are times when our roles interchange. And so, for example, I go to the kitchen and do the dishes. And you come and man, you're like, oh, okay. You don't appreciate the dishes that I've done. You actually feel, but this sufuria, no,
you didn't even
exactly. Kwani there was no steel wool or there was no nothing. And that already is a critical spirit right there. That instead of appreciating and feeling like, wow, thanks that you went out of your way to do this, you actually think you should have done better than this.
That's so true. And so what we see, what I think what I'm actually seeing, as you're saying, is even our tone. change.
Yeah.
You know, our tone, you know, where, you know, like before, probably all we would do is to appreciate, you know, like if someone has gone to the kitchen and helped in washing the dishes, you know, I come and I'm like, wow, thanks so much for thinking, even the thought of going to the kitchen and fixing it, you know. Yeah, but now in turn, we keep looking at what was not done. You know, maybe why didn't you close the gate? Why didn't you wash the, you know, yes, you did this, but why, you know? So that is actually now a critical spirit, isn't it? Yeah. So we begin to see each other's faults.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just see each other's faults.
And they are so glaring, they are so huge, they are everything you actually now, and you know the thing about faults, if you want to see it, you will see it, because they are all over. And now it just messes your spirit and it messes the other person's spirit.
Wow. So what are we saying about criticalness?
I think for me, being critical is having a certain negative spirit. And the negative spirit is so
glaring.
It's so glaring. And it's huge. But it's also very, very draining. So that if you are living with somebody who is negative, you do not have the energy to do anything. You do not have the motivation, because after being criticized for some time, you actually just feel you are not good for anything. You actually just feel you are making a mistake. You are not confident
so
of your relationship. You are not confident of even the things that you used to do so well. Because this person has always said, even if you are a good cook, maybe your chapatis are very nice. Everybody else appreciates your chapatis, but not your spouse. And you just feel like, maybe it is true, I am not good. So you are beaten down by that critical spirit.
So what we are saying actually then is that as a couple, we must be conscious to look at the positive in each other.
Exactly.
Because the negatives are there. You know, if you start thinking about the negatives, you can write even a book about the negative qualities about each other. But what you're saying is that when you look at the positives, actually, you help the other person even grow more. You know, like if you feel like maybe they are not a good cook. And you start telling them that, wow, by the way, you do very well when you cook this. You know, or maybe they're not good with the kids. And instead of telling them, you are not even good with the children. Look, you are neglecting the children. But instead you decide to choose to tell him, wow, you are the greatest dad. You're the greatest mom. So what we're saying is we must both actually in our marriage, both choose to get rid of negative emotions, especially negative criticism, negative complaining, you know, because actually it's true, you know, when we are critical, we complain. We complain about everything. You know, we complain from the, you know, the character to the how people do things, to how they are laughing, to how they are eating, to everything. And so what you're saying is that now we start focusing consciously on the positive. We start choosing that, you know what, I'm going to look at the positive of my spouse. You know, no matter how much negative is there. You know, that I know one of the things that we would do at some point was to write 5 things you like about your spouse, and I think it's a good challenge. You know, we can you can start from there. If you've been feeling just negative, you know, start by just writing on your own. You know, what are some of the 5 things
that you appreciate about
each other? You know, and when you do that as just do it for yourself, you know, and if you're able to, you can share with one another. And I know the temptation to say but or the temptation to say the negative is so high. But choose, you know, where you just tell yourself, I want to be positive. You know, and dwell on that. When you dwell on the positive, you know, you'll be amazed at how the other person just leaves it out. You know, actually what you keep telling each other is who they become. If you keep telling the other person you're good for nothing, you know, if you keep telling the other person you can't even do anything, you can't think, I'm telling you they'll not think. But if you tell them that, wow, you are the greatest man, you know, and you believe it because he's the one you chose. So I'm sure by the time you were choosing him, he was the best.
That's true.
Or she was the best.
Yeah, that's true. You know, the thing is really, everyone deep inside us has such a deep desire of being appreciated. We actually literally just deny each other that appreciation.
And you know it sometimes.
But we yearn for it.
Wow.
Haven't you seen just how somebody's eyes brightens when you just say, man, sweet, you are looking nice. You are beautiful. Sweet, I just loved your food. You know, your chapatis are, like for me, you know, my wife makes the best chapatis. And wow, every time we try, so many people come in and all that. But I just know when chapatis are done, I'll just say this one is made by my wife. And I love it. And the other thing I've loved lately is my wife cooks very nice fish. I think that is just, man, no, when we got married, she did not even love to eat it. But these days, she is able to make those nice omenas, and I just feel like, wow, this is nice. And every time that is done, I strive. But the honest truth is, it's not all the time that I feel like appreciating her. There are times that
maybe the salt is too much.
It's too much and all that. But you must make a conscious effort. And I think that's what, when we look in the book of Philippians, Philippians chapter 4, verses 8, Paul was talking and he's saying, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, these are the things to think about. Whatever you have heard or received or heard or seen in me, then these are the things to put into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. What is Paul saying? You know, Paul is saying that choose to focus on what is positive, because the world is full of very many negative things. You have to choose to be positive. In your relationship, choose to be positive, to focus on the things that are great, things that are excellent, things that are admirable. What is it in your marriage that is great? What is it in your marriage that is praiseworthy? What is it in your marriage that is is lovely? What is it in your marriage that is admirable? What is it about your spouse? And that's what you are saying when you are giving us the assignment. What is it in your spouse that is admirable, that is appreciated? Go ahead and tell them, and watch and see how they brighten up when you just say it. I
like that. Very true. And so, a critical spirit can destroy. But when there is harmony in the home, and as we are saying, you have to consciously decide that I'm going to be positive, because negativity is everywhere. Our first instinct is to be negative, to be critical.
That's true.
But so we are saying it's like where you start going back and reminding yourself. So thank you so much. Even for the scripture. Finally, the third point for today, our cause of conflict is defensiveness. When we defend ourselves, we are defensive. You know, that is a huge cause of conflict.
Married closely to defense is pride. When we are proud and we've grown in our pride, the first thing that comes is defense. Why do people become defensive? It's because you'd want to protect something. And that is what clicks in your mind. When your spouse says something, you don't take time to listen, to analyze, and actually to say, is there truth in what she's saying? But rather, you first look at yourself and they say, no. That is not true about me. And so you want to defend and say, you are wrong. I know myself. I am not what you are trying to portray. And so you don't want to listen.
And I think this is it just so happens. And we just find ourselves very defensive. You know, and do you know, I've realized that sometimes you can listen to people out there. But when it comes to your spouse, we just put a wall.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
actually, defensiveness is like when you create a wall.
Yeah.
You know, so that the other person is not able to
Yeah.
get through.
Yeah.
To
You're
us.
actually putting a big sign saying, do not
Do not try.
Do not
Don't
try.
even try to
Yeah.
say it.
What you are saying is not me.
Yeah.
You are describing somebody else.
Somebody else.
And that is not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think how do you know that you're a defensive person?
Mm-hmm.
It's when someone maybe starts bringing up an issue,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to listen.
Yeah.
And so you block them.
Yeah.
Through doing something that just shows them not to. Sometimes we might not say it,
Yeah.
but our actions
Exactly.
can tell.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's the eye you give them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's you just show you have no interest at all.
Yeah.
You know, you can even take your phone and
Yeah, you're
like now
looking
you're
away.
yeah. Sometimes you're trying to resolve. Sometimes it's even a conflict that you have,
Yeah.
and maybe someone is starting to bring it up.
Yeah.
And so you start maybe checking your phone
Yeah.
to show the other person that
Yeah.
what they're saying is not as important.
Yeah, you are not interested
You're
in
not
what they are saying.
interested in what they're
Yeah.
saying.
Sometimes it's even just the comments that you make.
Yes.
Yeah, the body language.
Yeah.
The way just you respond.
Yeah.
And you're just feeling like no.
Yeah. Sometimes you
Don't
even
try.
stand up and go and lock
some
and
people
even
just
bang
walk
the
away.
door.
Yeah.
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 That is defensiveness.
Yes.
You know, and when we are sometimes people even take their newspaper and start reading so that the other person doesn't,
they put on loud music.
Loud
They're
music.
saying, man,
you talk, you keep talking.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly speaking, when we are defensive,
Yeah.
we block one another.
Yeah.
And we cannot be able to get the desired results.
Yeah.
When we are defensive.
Yeah.
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 So I'm trying to think of some incidences or some situations that we found ourselves. I think for me, one of the things I'm thinking about quickly is when we've had a conflict, which actually, as we started by saying, we have conflict
many times.
Really. Actually, it's part of marriage. Actually, if you don't have conflict, then
you guys are not being real.
Are you real? It's okay. You having conflict because you don't look at things the
but
same
the
way.
extent and the scope and the resolution of those conflicts is what makes the whole difference.
Really makes the difference.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things I know I've heard you say is that has brought conflict is when you start or when I bring up an issue, maybe it's a concern I have.
Yeah.
And then you start explaining yourself.
Yeah.
And I know personally there are times I've felt like it's okay, just do what you want.
Yeah.
I think
I think one thing that really was very common when we started, I am the quiet one most of the time, and I would really sweep so many things under the carpet.
Yeah.
And Liz is the one who she would not want to go away with anything. After some time, she feels like she wants to talk. And so she would be bringing things along. But now when she brings things, because it's not that I've not had things. I've had my things, but I've been keeping them. So that time she brings things is when I also...
It's like it's reminding you of the
and I also bring mine. I'm like, well, you think you are the only one who... Even me, remember that day you did this and that and that. And so very quickly, I don't listen to what she's bringing, but I'm putting up a defense by bringing up some of the things
to counter
that maybe I've experienced in the past, to just counter and just to say like no,
and I think that would really make it bad. It would stir the conflict, and now it would go and go, but I think one of the things we've had to learn to do is to really learn to listen to the other person, and so that's
and validate
what
they are saying.
If someone is feeling
something important,
exactly, just listen to what the other person is saying, validate it, even if you're thinking of something else, because by then, so long as you are in marriage, so many things will keep coming out.
That's true.
But where we keep just listening, and agreeing that okay, you felt hurt. If someone felt hurt, it's true, they got hurt. Don't
appreciate that they are hurt. Many times we actually think when you validate people's feelings or what they are going through, that you agree with them. That is not true, or that should not be the case. You understand, or you are trying to empathize, or you are trying to put yourself in their shoes. Does not necessarily mean you agree with them, but you hear them, you feel them. It might be a contrary opinion, but
it concerns them.
Exactly, and you are caring what they are saying, and that really helps to undo that great wall of defensiveness.
So I don't know, for you in your marriage, in what way does do you feel like you're defensive? I think now for me, when I would feel like Mike is bringing up the issues, I would easily just feel like I don't want to talk. Now I would also just now become moody, and just now not talk at all, you know, and then now it creates a lot of it actually adds up, you know. And so I think I've really worked on that.
Yes, you are, to some degree. There is some great progress, and I hope also I've also worked on it. And we still have a long way to go. But as time goes by, we are confident that we are getting better in this.
Because actually the most important thing is to be aware that this is the battle. This is how Satan tries to bring conflict in our marriage. You know, because the honest truth, even as we are sharing, we might actually have a conflict. But when you are aware that this is in one way, then you realize the enemy is not my spouse. There is an enemy. You know, we have an enemy, and he will use these things that we are talking about. You know, so it's important for you to know what is it that the devil uses.
That is actually very important. Even as we come to a conclusion, the three things that we've talked about: pride, criticalness, and defensiveness. Among the two of you, there is one who is more proud, there is one who is more critical, and there is one who is more defensive. There could also, you could all be suffering from it, but in varied degrees. The moment you are aware that this is me, and this comes naturally to me, then and only then do you start to counter and start saying, man, every time there is a conflict, I would want to stay humble. Every time there is conflict, I would want to stay positive and not become critical. Every time there is a conflict, I want to know that my tendency is to be defensive. This time round, I don't want to be defensive. And it is going to be well, and it's going to be better, and we are going to grow even as we continue to strive to be better in our relationships.
That's right. Thank you so much. Wow. So we are going to be coming, we are still going on with our topic on conflicts. You know, so hopefully you're already identifying with what is it, what is causing conflict. You know, because as we said, conflicts bring a lot of tension in marriage, you know. So what is this that is bringing this tension? You know, and so we'll continue in the next as we keep going. You know, so keep watching, and please remember to subscribe to our channel if you've not subscribed. Like, comment, you know, we would like to hear from you. So thank you so much. Remember,
check us out on this very topic, because this is a very important topic in any relationships. We are going to continue, as she's saying, just digging deeper and getting to give us some more about conflicts and even how we can get to resolve them.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great time.
Yes.
God bless.